What is happening? Porque
we out here in the Ep.1
hey, Champagne Papi.
Tokyo.
I personally don't think you're cute,
mean,
but
like,
she thinks you're cute.
How you out here bad talking Drake?
She cried the
Don't be telling, don't be jumping, shut up. Aubrey, you know what, baby? Aubrey, you know what, baby? Like, it's fine.
Alright, I don't know what Rhea is on about, but hi, welcome back to my channel, guys. Today we have
keep it.
right. We have some special guests today. We have Aubrey's in the frame because I really upset on the frame. This is Robert here. He's over here.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Tell them where you're from, Robert.
Okay, half Italian, half Mozambican, born and raised in Germany, and now I'm here in Japan.
Oh, wow.
And he's all grandpappy.
And then we have
me, Seiko. Hi.
and tell them something about you.
Oh, sorry. I'm Cameroonian Japanese. I've been living in Japan for now 10 years, almost 11 years in September.
Whoa, she is an OG of Japan. And then we have what's her name?
Oh my god! This dude, like, he actually, you know what? I don't need to be in your video. I don't need to be in your channel.
Stop being petty, girl.
Her name is Rhea. I was messing her up because I know she's kind of like that. She's good with banter and stuff. So
Yeah, she is.
Hi, I'm Rhea. I'm from Barbados. Follow me at Rhea the Real on Instagram if you want to laugh.
Girl, we're not doing no promotion here.
Thank you.
Oh my god, this is real beef because she's from Barbados and I'm from Jamaica. So here's the thing.
There's no beef.
You know that
Barbadians
don't like Jamaicans. They don't like us.
Y'all don't like us. What are you talking about?
We don't need any.
Y'all don't like us.
Jamaicans don't have time to hate. We're too having fun.
Oh my god.
We're having fun.
Then why are you all here bringing up that people hating you? When
Because we had a Jamaican going to Barbados, right?
People?
And the airport, whatever, personnel went up in all of the JJ.
Everybody in immigration are in everywhere.
Everywhere? Not everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Jamaica, we
everywhere.
cool.
Everywhere.
Jamaica, we cool. We just get.
Oh please.
Right.
Please.
Alright, so
please.
today it's more like almost like a podcast type vibe. So you have to talk right properly in the mic, guys. Enunciate your words.
Okay.
You have to go down, like it picks up, but remember that we have outside noise. So Rhea booked TJ for us today.
Hello.
Rhea, my manager apparently since
Testing.
today, has booked TJ for us. So yeah. So today we're going to like
I also did the lighting.
Rhea, this is not your podcast, girl. Get it together.
Yeah, Rhea's
You can do
it's
yours
Rhea's show.
during the weekend.
So,
then
it's
tomorrow.
Rhea's show. Alright, so first off, we're gonna start off with dating in Japan. I wanted a myriad of like perspectives and stuff. And so we have two females and two males, and we're all from different places, so it's a better representation, right? So y'all can't say I'm telling no damn lies. Right.
We should all say our dating statuses right now.
Alright, well,
I'm single.
So single, taken, or it's complicated.
okay, so I'm single.
Single.
Complicated.
Single.
And she's ready to mingle only with champagne papi.
Not only with champagne papi.
I'm just throwing it
Not
right on
only.
there.
I mean, like, he's first choice, but anything after that is great.
Is what?
What did she say?
I didn't hear it.
I didn't hear it. Like, was it under your breath?
Anything after champagne papi is great. He's first choice, but like, if you got a great personality and you know, you can handle all of this.
You handle all of that.
You need to show them all of it.
Wow, thanks. I was going to put in that sound effect. Alright, so let's try and get this done before the food comes. So, yeah. So, Rhea, you want to go first? Since you're the most animated. They know about my stories mostly. Some of it kind of.
So, I guess my experiences have been a long distance dating.
Okay.
And also, I've had quite a wide variety of experience with dating apps here in Tokyo and the wider Kanto region. Yeah. Traveled a bit about
She
that
traveled for the D, folks.
I did. I traveled for the D.
Was it a good trip?
I got
It's
cursed.
a great trip.
Okay. Well, I guess it was worth it.
You know, like, he turned out to be a dick in the end.
But you went for the.
You went
But
for it.
you know what? Like,
what?
life is experience. Like, no, let me be real right now. Like,
Seriously.
you know, there's some people who are like come to Asia or like Japan, they're like, oh my god, I want a Japanese boyfriend. Like, oh my god, I want a Japanese girlfriend. I was never one of those people. And like my personality is very extrovert, very outgoing, and a bit wild. And like the general Japanese personality is very like, you know, reserved, shy. Like there's tatemae, like you have a certain face but you feel another way inside. And I don't necessarily connect, you know, to that. So it's been really difficult for me to like find a Japanese guy that I've been into. So I've mostly dated like foreigners, Black West Indian, Black African, and yeah. But I've been like on a date with like one half Japanese guy and like a couple white guys. Yeah.
How's the Japanese experience though?
Well, he was raised overseas, and his personality is very. It's great. He has a great personality. It's very not Japanese. Okay. Like he says what he thinks. He's very, you know, like honest. And yeah, and it was great. And you know what, like, just so you know, the rumor that like Asian men are not packing is not true.
It's not true.
Say what?
Okay, well, we're gonna move quickly to the OG.
The emoji. Why do you have to say it like that?
OG Seiko.
What's the question?
Your experience of dating in Japan, whether foreign or there's a whole thing. A synopsis. Because we're gonna they see like this? You know what I mean? Where's the tea? Where's my tea?
It says 11 years, guys, so we're gonna be sipping well on these stories.
Anyways, my experience has been very interesting because I dated a Japanese guy for 2.5 years.
Whoa, that must have been awesome. Not so. That that'll be so sticky.
It was an interesting relationship, but I think after that relationship, I realized that I don't want to be I don't want to be involved. I don't want to create something with the Japanese. I'm from a mixed background, Cameroonian Japanese, and what I want from my food is here. Is that half size?
That's half size.
The Lord is good.
This is the star of the show. This is half.
Quite half food.
Yeah,
Wow.
She was saying, half of foreigners. So that don't have Japanese anyway.
Yeah, it's not. So what happened was we dated, and I realized that I don't want to be involved with Japanese guys. Yeah. I think it comes a lot with their culture and just the way they think. They're very
rigid.
Yeah, rigid, and it's in a box almost. They were thinking, and I feel like it's not all Japanese. Don't get me wrong. But I feel it's something that if they grow up in Japan, they grow up having that as a personality. Yeah. And also for me, I kind of want my future family to be mixed because I come from a mixed background. So ideally, I would like to be with someone. Why did the music just drop?
I'd love it to keep like this. This would be awesome. Yeah,
ideally, I'd love to be with someone who's from a different country or different background, so that mixes, so that when people see my kids, they're like, "Whoa, where are these kids
melting
from?"
pot.
Exactly. I want a melting pot. Apart from that, I've dated an African as well here in Japan, and
how was that?
Wow, how was it, Ria? It was probably one of the most intense relationships I've had.
Intense?
Yes. I would say because...
But it comes down to personality, not culture.
Yes, that is different. That, on the other hand, is different. And, yeah, we're not going to go into details. This will be for another day, Drake.
Yeah, another day. So the intense, just the intense.
Yeah.
It's intense. It was intense.
You felt the fire from it coming off to the heat? Like coming off? Like
as the friend, I was probably the closest friend, you know, to observe the relationship. But I think it came down more to the personalities involved than the actual culture.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with the culture.
Two very strong. Okay.
Yeah. Was it really that though?
Girl, we're not doing details.
Yeah, we're not doing. Yeah.
No details, but we're just
I'm protecting you right now.
I know, right?
Let's move on to Roberto. Let me get it away.
Roberto.
So what do you want to know? Like, because there are two periods when I came to Japan. The first time, when I was single.
Every time, Roberto.
All right. So the first time, before I decided to move to Japan, I came to Japan because I was fascinated about Japan. Like, you know, you had this image like in Europe, like, oh, Japan, this crazy country where everything is possible, everything's like kind of weird and funny. And I'm always that kind of person that likes to, you know, explore the world and I don't know, like just having like fun stories to tell, like, you know, because that's what life is all about. You know, making experiences and finding out like how life works. So I came to Japan and I used Hello Talk. I had like a I had like a like kind of a pen pal, like a girl, and she was in a relationship with a guy from Switzerland. So we met and we had a fun night in a bar. I don't know, probably because the issue was later the boyfriend didn't met at the end of the day because like I was there, she invited me like out for drinking, like that was in 2015. Yeah, so 2015. We went then later to my hotel room, had a lot of fun. But
Is this PG-1600?
Perfect, it's perfect.
Is
no,
it
but
PG-13 fun, or are we talking about RXXX fun?
no, the normal fun. Actually, the thing is,
Holy water.
the only experience.
Sorry, I didn't think it was actually
Just like see, like
Sorry.
she always trying to get me wet, huh? Oh. Oh, these women crazy, trying to get somebody wet like instantly. Oh yes, sir.
So you're
Yeah,
saying
sorry.
you went to her hotel room and had a
Yeah.
lot of fun. Even though, for the record, this girl has a
I had a
boyfriend.
boyfriend. So I realized also once later that actually in Japan, or for Japanese girls, even from listening to the stories of others, from other people, like they don't really care about if you have a girlfriend or if they have a boyfriend. It really doesn't matter. Like sometimes it seems like sex or love life is something apart from a relationship or like marriage.
That's a very interesting point because, right, very interesting.
Now we get into your story.
Yeah, slide the mic over.
No story. Andre, they know about my stories already. I don't need to talk about it. Let's move on quickly. So I was like, I dated like
That looks good. Sorry, I'm
Ouchie. Ooh, the real MVP. Ooh, this was
Oh
cool.
wow, that looks good.
Yeah, that was Jamaican, sorry. I'm gonna wrap up this section quickly because the food is here. I don't want to get either it's hot. I dated a girl for 5 months
What is dated a girl?
because I thought we were dating, but apparently we weren't dating.
Seeing each other.
we're dating, but apparently at the end of it, she said she couldn't see me as
wasn't
a lover or something like
For
that.
5 months?
5 months.
Was she
and
just
said
looking for the
after
black
5
tea?
months?
Well, I don't know.
Well, I had similar experience though.
So I was like, wait, so we did all these things that look like dating, and I was like trying to back because she said she wanted to take things slowly. It didn't start because after meeting her, because I met her, basically I met her on where I met her? Like in Sakai, and one night I saw her and I was called. My friend was talking and I saw her. Hey, I said, you been to Jamaica? And she's like, yeah, I've been to Jamaica. I don't know why I said that. I just said it randomly, and she started talking about her experience in Jamaica. And I'm like, cool. Got her Instagram and asked for the line. That was my strategy first. Instagram. And then after that, I met her and then I said, 2 weeks later, I said, hey, let's go get some food together with my friends or whatever, deliberately, because I didn't make it seem like a date at first, like the first encounter. Did that, then I said, alright, let's go on a date. She's like, oh, that's fast, are Jamaicans that fast? I'm like, wait, what?
She playing.
What?
She playing.
3 weeks? What?
She playing.
Listen, man, if I'm interested in you, I'm going to say, oh, let's spend some time to see if we're compatible and then move, whatever. So I went out on dates and did stuff, introduced to my friends, kind of got in the circle slowly. And I said, you know what, I should have followed my mind and said, push it the same way. She said, do slowly. So even after 3 months, I was like, there was no like intimate issue or anything going on. I was just trying to be like, okay, let me try this slow thing. To my detriment. Eventually she said, oh, Andre, you start fading you out. So we just talk every day. Then not FaceTime, but video call or whatever. Then eventually, after a trip to Tokyo, we went together. Came back. distance. If you distance, it's alright. I know you're busy, whatever, but busy. But
On the trip to Tokyo, did you do the thing?
no.
Why are you always looking for good?
No, because like I'm not no, I'm not gonna say it, but
Oh, you're trying to connect yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, not my Southeast story. No, I'm just
No,
saying.
there are things that happen I can't get into right now.
Okay.
But in a sense, it was like basically she said, "Hey, I can't see you," blah 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 blah. I'm like, what? All right, then friends? What? Alright. Then there's another situation. Long story short, married woman.
A married woman.
Married woman. I promised myself in Jamaica I would not do anything like that. I've never done this before in Jamaica, and desperate times can offer some desperate measures, and things progress more than it should have.
Thank you.
And yeah, we still talk today, but I kind of did something with a married woman. So I went from 0 to 1 million. Like 0 meaning I was pure and chaste to being right in the seventh
So there's
level of
a few
hell.
things that we need to define though for the people. First of all, gaijin hunter. What is the gaijin hunter?
Yeah.
A gaijin hunter is basically a Japanese woman or man that are exclusively interested in
Foreigners.
foreigners
But
to
it's
date
interesting. What do you
as
look
a
for?
sort of social status symbol. They're cool or the sex is better or something like that. Like just the most. Not necessarily because they care about the personality. And what else do we need to define? What else do we need to define for dating? Oh, well, Japan is really like, it's not, a lot of us, we don't want to stay for a long time.
True, so
or
that's
we
what I
say
think.
we don't want to stay for a long time. So like, it's really like the hell for anyone who want to be A, monogamous or B, committed.
Yeah.
Like if you want to be monogamous and committed in Japan, especially Tokyo, you will find it real hard to find somebody to give you what you want.
Right there. Sorry, I was looking at the mic.
So that's the truth right there. So we're gonna eat and then come back to you guys. Okay? Good time. Let's cut. I'm gonna try a piece of the strawberry cheesecake all the way over here.
Eat the rest.
No, I don't want to do that. This,
This couple fight that's happening
This-
here, we
this-
don't need it, eh?
why would you do that?
It tastes good together.
She did
Just
fry
try
my
it, just try
cheesecake.
it.
No.
Your cheesecake.
What happened? What happened?
He's like, you shitty foul.
No, it's really good with it.
Wait, let me just get this first. The purist in me. Like,
I'm just curious. Let's just really?
Yeah, it's
go
really
for
good.
it.
Trust me. Why would you take it? You were here saying you don't want it.
I said I just want to try the pure part
Roberto is
first.
like a foodie, you know? Like his mom and his dad.
Thank you.
Okay, this okay.
You see?
Come on
Fuck with
through.
that shit. You fuck
Come
with
on
it,
through.
right?
Come on through fusion food.
It's good, right?
This dude is too much like me.
Come on through. Come on through with the fusion. We got this Asian and African mixer with the.
This is holy water.
Listen, this girl is trying to just destroy my equipment. I just look like I pissed myself. And you know that's something that happens in Japan, right? When it's black
Okay,
people.
He didn't.
Finish your cheesecake, man. Come on.
Alright, so took a break. We're now fully
Now energized.
what's that word called?
We're fully full.
You're full.
Supplement. Well, with sustenance. We just had our sustenance Caribbean word.
Yeah, we had your
Sustenance.
These victuals. We had the victuals, people. The victuals.
Alright, so what's we talking about? So we finished with dating now and
Generals.
gender roles in Japan. And wow, we have a balanced argument again, of course. Well, we just sit back and then talk because
Why?
No, but we're talking about gender roles in Japan, not what these misogynist people might have to say about gender roles.
Really? Am I?
how did we reach that part?
I don't know.
This girl just met me, right? And she called me misogynistic already. And I really feel offended.
To be
As you
honest,
should be.
all men have a wee bit of misogyny in them due to patriarchy.
Okay, and
I feel hurt. Really hurt.
you know what?
Roberto, but I love you, you know.
You see, she only loves Roberta because he looks like Drake.
Not because he looks like great, but because he's an amazing individual. And yeah,
going on
there's a
right
vibe. There's a vibe.
But I'm sensing
The
a
hands are
very.
really cold. I'm sorry.
Why?
But your hands are really warm. You got really nice hands. What's going on here? What's going on?
I don't know.
Was I recording?
Super.
Right. All right. So
Okay.
gender role.
Woo. Okay.
gender roles in Japan, and we don't have. Well, actually, yes, we do. All right, so we have our fully Bayesian friend here. We have our
100%
we have our Japanese half, but we say Japanese. She's Japanese. And
No, she's not Japanese
and
half.
Cameroonian.
She is half Cameroonian. She is fully African. She's black and she's beautiful. Don't ever.
Right. That was because she lived here. She lived here and has the whole thingy. I don't feel like she.
It has the whole thing. Has the whole thing. She is a queen. She can't be talking about Japanese women.
She's
she
part
can be,
she's Japanese though.
You know, she can be still Japanese
Isn't she
and
Japanese?
African at the same time. So
Yeah, she can be Japanese and African.
She can be
at the same
both.
time. She can be.
But Japan doesn't want
have you
both.
experienced life as a Japanese woman, or do most people
No,
see you as a black woman?
they
right?
see her as a black
People
woman.
see her as a black woman,
And
so
that-
she cannot speak for Japanese women. We should have a Japanese woman right here. Not that she would say anything that's truthful, because first lesson on gender roles in Japan: Japanese women rarely tell you what they really think.
Welcome to Ria's show. Let's allow her to just lead this conversation right now.
No, we're gonna edit that out, right?
I'm not editing anything else.
Yeah.
Don't hit down the thing because
Okay.
Mike is here.
Sorry, Mr. Mike.
No, that is going to be so super loud. Anyway. Oh, they're moving because we're too loud.
I don't think so.
I think so.
yeah.
No, I don't think so.
What's wrong with that? So guys, we are making noises.
No, I don't think it's that.
This is why we're in
They probably
TGIF. We
moved
would have
for
probably
something
been kicked out if we was in a cafe.
Right.
Was
So,
not a nice.
If we were in a Japanese cafe, to be more specific.
You
Right.
weren't a nice view. You're a nice view to me, boo boo. I like you.
what is going on? I want to. Alright, so gender roles. How do you feel the roles are here in Japan as opposed to probably where you're from, or what
You can move
differences?
here if you want. I'll go sit over there.
Yeah. What about your feel?
No, actually, I
Yeah,
was
sorry,
not.
but
So,
Gender roles. How do
yeah.
you feel about gender roles in Japan? And what is different about it from where you grew up?
in Cameroon, women are considered the powerhouse of the house. So women make the decisions. It can be financially or otherwise, but and it's not like we are undermining the men or anything. For example, in my household, my mom's Japanese, obviously, but even in my dad's upbringing, he knew that he had to, one, respect his wife, but two, also give her a role and a strong role in the house. Exactly. So it's including her in the leadership of the household. Whereas here in Japan, it's almost like the woman has to be a background figure, has to be more of a server. And it comes with the culture of geisha, where the geisha are more the people who entertain the man sexually or to please him, and the wife is just there to clean the house, cook, and bear kids. And for me, that's a retarded. It's true. That's the culture. That's the foundation of Japanese families, and that's why most women find it normal when their husbands cheat on them. And for me, that's the saddest thing ever, because I've come from a culture where that is frowned upon. That is considered taboo and bad, you know. And I don't want that for my family. I don't see myself ever cheating on my husband. It doesn't even have to be my husband, my boyfriend. I would never do that. Anyways, let's go back. And I think that's something that I found really, really different about Japan is just the way they claim that they're respectful, but the way they treat their women, it goes to show why they are still so low on gender, the list of countries with a great gap in gender inequality.
Yeah.
So there we go. That's my opinion. A very summarized opinion, because I could go on for hours.
Yeah, and I don't have enough battery on my phone to do that, right?
No, we cannot.
What are you saying, real? You want my opinion on gender roles?
Alright, so we're gonna ask Ria to keep it to less than 10 minutes.
Oh, boy.
10
Less
minutes,
than
that's
10.
long.
Okay.
Alright, less than 2.
So, I mean, I haven't been living in Japan that long, just 4 years, but from my observations, it's been pretty much similar to Seiko's in that, you know, the gender roles for both men and women are very strict, and both sexes have to follow it. There's not a lot of wiggle room where, like, a traditionally male space can be invaded by a female and vice versa. Like, I find something that's really interesting is like from the young kids in elementary school right up to like grown adults. Like really, there's interaction between the sexes, and it's kind of strange, you know. Like I grew up in a society where I had lots of guy friends. Like I hung out with my guy friends. When we started driving, I would go driving with them. Like it's just normal to find myself in a space where there are other males, or to be the only female in an all male space in a non-sexualized, you know, environment. And to come to Japan where like you see people as couples or in sex divided groups is a bit weird. It's like the only time you're with someone else is if you are in a relationship, and that's a bit weird. Like, how do you get to know a person? How do you get to figure out if you really want to be friends with them, more than friends with them? And it just comes down to a really strict culture, even like with dating. Like you kind of hook up with somebody in college and you stick with them, or you go to like Gokong with like these group dates. It's kind of strange for me, and I just feel
everything
like
has a name and a setting.
yeah, I feel it limits us so much. It limits what you can learn from each other, and it limits the expectations you have, you know, of the other person. And it's just, you know, it's just weird. That's it.
Anything to say, Robert?
Well, my
Please
experience
be
here.
careful what you say, sir.
Okay. Yeah, no.
We're already on the attack.
No, it's like for me, I think it's quite tough to do a proper judgment, especially if you consider that I grew up with a Western mindset, you know. So, yet again, yes, I see that there are strict gender role divisions, but I don't feel like I can have like a proper opinion because just of my Western standards that I have. I think it's unfair to apply Western standards and to, you know, like
That's true.
rule upon, let's say like a cultural thing in Japan. Like, I would be unfair to say yes, they have like the strict gender role division and it's bad. Yes, that for us certain things are bad or that we need to get accustomed. Yet at the same time, you know, this has worked for a very long time, and normally certain things or certain issues change, you know, like through time when things are not working out anymore. So for me, I would just say yes, the gender role division is creating here a lot of tension, but I think it's a tension that Japan still needs, because otherwise I think yeah, it wouldn't be Japan. Like everything would fall apart. Like you can see it already in the low birth rates, you know, like by introducing certain Western type of things, you know, like they had like before, like, you know, like this image of the wife who's taking care of the children, you know, like giving them education and stuff. And I think we had it in the West too. Yet again, we moved away from it because, you know, we're more like thinking about individuals, like individually, and like so women and men, you know, we're on the same level on par. Even though it doesn't seem like in Japan it is the same issue, but they are also on par because, for instance, in Japan, I think that's one of the few countries where you have to ask, as a man earning the money, your wife for pocket money. I mean, that's I've never seen it in maybe in any other culture, but that might be the effect.
まあもうシフトが終わるんで上がります。
Hi, bye. It was nice meeting you. Bye, Austin. See ya.
Bye bye. So that's the whole issue, like.
Is it possible in all relationships or in all marriages? I don't think so. Because I do know of Japanese couples that have complete separate bank accounts. And like the husband doesn't touch the wife's money, the wife doesn't touch the husband's money. So I think obviously there are pros and cons in all societies.
So do they have a joint account as well? Is that they have where the salary goes and then they have something that they pool together?
Exactly, like that was in the traditional,
to be honest,
traditional
most
family.
Traditional settings, like the male is considered the breadwinner, so he pays for the housing, the rent, bills, you know, kids' schooling, stuff like that. And like I think in a very, very like traditional way, like whatever the wife earns is kind of like hers, you know. As they say, like, you know, you put aside Vex money in the Caribbean, you know.
Something for a rainy day. It's interesting though that you guys have kind of like totally different views, especially Seiko's view compared to Roberta's view compared to Priya's view. And I guess as I say, it's good to have other persons stay because everybody experiences something different or sees or observes something differently. Now, I know about the fact that a lot of men who are Western marry Japanese women end up having to surrender their salary to the woman because she controls the finances.
Exactly.
And so it's weird for me I'm working and I'm supposed to give you all my salary and then ask you back for pocket money and you make me a bento. I say, okay, you only taking the bus this week, so you only need this. I don't know how I feel about that. But I guess everything works for a reason. I guess there's all the regimented stuff and the traditional gender spaces does work for them for some time. But what I kind of find kind of weird, like for instance, they don't use discretion or have initiative to say, all right, for this second, let us just forget about this. We need to deal with this emergency now. Like there was a case in Kyoto, I think it was, where there was a sumo wrestler guy that fainted. No, the president or some government official fainted in the sumo ring. And what is law is that females are not allowed to enter there because it's sacred. But the only person that's there was a medical officer, was a Japanese woman, and she dared to rush in, and the referee was telling her she needs to get out while she's trying to tend to the man who is probably having a heart attack. At that point, I kind of wonder, like, are you that brainwashed to not see that the man is dying? So you rather wait for the male medical doctor, which is probably on the ambulance on the way, to come and deal with the man when he's dead, than have the woman save him. You know what I mean? Yeah. So these are the things, I can understand it to a point, but you must be able to show some flexibility. And I find that Japanese persons are unable to show levels of flexibility.
Very rigid,
I think, in a way, I agree with what you were saying, Roberto, in that, you know, there are things about the gender constructs in all societies that have worked for the society, you know, to remain like as in order to remain like whole as a country, as a society. There are things that have worked for it. But I think compared to Japanese people, a lot of people in Western societies, not all, but a lot of people in Western societies, based on their experiences, their educations, their exposure to other cultures, have sort of developed a mindset where they can look at their society and think about it critically and say, okay, this works and this doesn't work. How do we maintain the things that work while fixing the things that don't work? And I think in Japan, like, that is severely lacking. People who have a critical mentality against their own cultures, against the good, the bad.
I think there are people like that, but it's the culture not to speak out. Anything.
There's a saying.
Because that's what
the nail that sticks out must be hammered down.
Must be hammered down. That's the saying, you know.
So even
if you say something, you might observe something, but you can't say anything. That's why they even say during meetings, like if one person says no, literally the whole plan goes down the drain and it starts all over again until all the people are okay with the idea. And that's why they also say Japan is a terrible country in terms of branding, because they don't believe in risk. They don't believe in imperfection. They don't believe in 50% chance working, 50% chance not working, you know? So I think it's very much the culture of think something but don't necessarily say
it unless you're 100% sure.
Exactly. And unless 100% of the community says it along with you, which is sad.
And you see it even, it's ingrained in from even elementary school, because as a teacher, well, I say a teacher in quotes, I am a teacher, so I was a teacher. The kids, even simple answers, you need to give them a template to answer a question, which I find I don't remember doing a template when I was in primary school or prep school in Jamaica. They said, okay, what do you like? They teach you, but they don't write down the template for you to copy and then fill in. You actually had to form your own opinion, which is something that a lot of Caribbean persons that can attest to. And I'm sure Seiko can attest to that with her African background, that you are allowed to form opinions at a young age and to think critically. In Japan, you have to follow this. Even high school junior high school, I see they're doing math homework. The answers are here. The question is here, and they copy the answer, and it has to be like line for line. And on the test, they get the same thing to do. So it's about reproducing something and not actually thinking. So we went into the grades thing later, but I think a lot of the things in the education system is almost like a false flag, false goal. But I see with the kids, because you're just basically asked to reproduce something that they want to do in a certain way. And even for jobs, they don't need to have a degree. You need to just graduate high school. And then years of service gets you your promotion. That's true. Triggered. triggered. And speaking of grades, so something new that happened recently, guys. So there's a university that had Tokyo Medical University that that did something that to me I never knew was really possible in real life. So basically they have entrance exams and they basically manipulated the scores of female testees.
Yes.
To ensure that only a certain amount of them would get into the score.
How retarded.
So what? So it's not like they said. It's not even like they said. Okay, let me put the bell mark on a bell curve. You know, they said let me look at all the females and see their score. Okay, this needs to be lowered so that they can't get in. To reduce to like 10% entrance or whatever. To ensure that there's a male dominant. No.
The reason was because after university, apparently, women don't stay in their jobs and aren't committed. They leave after 2 or 3 years to have kids and families. So it's kind of a waste of education on women. Whoa. That's the reason why they were doing this.
Sure, because what I understood from the article, and I saw it. So why they lowered it? Because they want to have like more equality. Because they're lacking in female doctors, right? That was the whole issue.
They lowered it.
They lowered the hurt or the hurdles.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
No, that's not what they did. No, that's not what they did.
No, that's what I read.
No. I think you got it wrong. They lowered their grades, meaning if I got 90 as a woman, they lowered it to 70.
No, I think really. Wait,
yes.
Let me check it. I swear.
Come on, bro. That is why we are talking about it because you're making it harder for women to get into university. Oh, check it, Robert. Get out.
Let me check it.
Yeah, I think you read the wrong hurdle.
Let me check it.
So, type in Tokyo Medical.
It's like a trending topic. So Robert is getting reacclimatized with the thing. Because
I can't even imagine in 2018 we still have issues like those. It's just sad.
It's sad.
Whoever said we're evolving, whoever said that.
No, like who sit down and climb over that?
Let's be honest here. Tokyo Uni it's a big renowned university here in Japan.
So let's see who else is doing that. Because suppose then they're doing that for other things but not exposing, I guess. Wow, that's rough though.
I mean, like, even look at, in companies where, like, a woman has to kind of let her bosses know that she's planning to have a child.
Oh,
and, like,
there's a pregnancy
permission.
The pregnancy schedule.
Yeah, like, if
you break
can't
it,
be pregnant
you can
at
get
the
fired
same
or
time
something
as
like that.
someone else, because, like, you gotta like choose your company over your own happiness as a family.
Oh, sorry, you had your baby 10 months before you were scheduled to have it, so we're gonna have to let it go.
Demoted after their maternity leave, right?
Demoted because you're missing for a time. Like
get the strap. Seriously.
Get the strap.
You're really calling out Fitty right now.
Fitty, get the strap.
Fitty, boo! I like you. I'm not supporting what you and Floyd going through right now, but Fitty, like, I like you.
Why you have to bring beans here? We're just telling Japan to get the strap. We don't care about the whatever.
I like Fitty, man.
Yeah, sorry.
We like you 50, but that was not. That's not our aim here.
You're right.
So Robert got his story a bit wrong because he said what I heard you say about it. They want to make it more equal. I'm like, wait, what?
No, because you know what I understood? The issue was like that they were like lowering the entrance so that they can get like achieve like the 50-50 chance, and that would be also unfair. Like that would be discriminating.
Yeah, but you also see that women are not as smart as men to lower the grade, which would be a next different problem. That we don't want. We love women here. We know women are smarter than us.
No, definitely. But no, like that would imply actually also that a male chauvinistic way of thinking, because that would imply that women are
the weakest,
weaker, like even
they're the strongest sex. First of all, we know this, but we're not going to get into in detail. Look at
so that was the issue. What I understood, but yeah, that's I'm sorry.
Come through.
No.
He's already through.
No.
He came through, and it's finished.
You're through.
Come through with the coconut oil and all this splice of flavor. Yeah, so basically, we have just, I don't know if, I'm sure there are other places in the world that something like this could happen,
Yeah, I mean, I think in
loads of other places. Only the other day did women get to drive in Saudi Arabia?
Yeah. Women kind of do kind of suck with driving though.
By themselves.
Right.
I mean,
They can't eat. They can't vote. Can they vote? They can't vote, right?
Let's be honest. There are pros and cons in every society, in
Right.
every country, and in every country. And I feel it's very easy for us to kind of zone in on a particular one.
Because we live here.
Japan being the one. But if I'm talking about Cameroon, for example, yeah, there are lots of. I had situations in high school, even in university, where I had to. Professors would ask me to sleep with them, else I'm not passed. And it came to a point where my dad actually didn't believe me when I told him that. You know, he thought I was just making up things so I could quit the school. But that is the reality. And sometimes the really expensive schools, they're known for such scandals. Like girls just have to give up their life, their whatever it is, be it virginity or their innocence or just themselves. Because they're hoping to become a doctor, hoping to become an athlete.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the sports also, because in Nigeria, should I put this on YouTube?
Put it on YouTube,
I would
girl.
put it on YouTube.
Yes.
Just recently, the coach of the Nigerian national team was found out to be a fraud. He's buying players from the side and putting on the pitch. So pretty much, people are bribing him. This is my son. Please put him on the national team, and it went viral.
But the youth team or the big team?
The actual team.
Whoa.
The actual team. This was on BBC News just after the World Cup.
And you see, that's why they always say black people can't do anything for themselves properly.
And I know, it's just spoiling our image, and it's just...
I remember when with Mugabe in Zimbabwe, they said, let them rule. Look at that. Look at Zimbabwe. $1 billion for bread.
And you know, Mugabe is the same person who said, no, he's not the one. Let me not spoil his name. He's not the one. It's the other president.
Gaddafi?
No, not Gaddafi. Let's not start on Gaddafi, because I actually think let's not put it there.
What
might start an issue
We kind of jumping.
Which is good.
We kind of jumping.
We could do this once a month.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
Let's
I've
meet
been
up.
telling her to start a podcast.
Yeah, we
she
could do
always
it,
has
man.
a lot.
Apparently, I have to
say,
start a podcast.
But you know,
Invite
Would you
me over.
listen to my podcast?
Of course, I'd come over for it. Like,
You come over for anything I have.
whoa, where do we go? Robert, I'm sorry, Roberto. Sorry.
Don't be sorry. I'm just saying, like, I got the sauce and a lot of people want it. It's just a fact.
Oh, I see. So she got the sauce.
YouTube, I'm sorry, we're supposed to be educating your children, but apparently we're educating you guys on something else.
And this is showing
I'm the sauce.
this is raw, it's energy.
So there's a difference between juice and sauce, you know?
Yes.
There's a difference between
Yes.
the juice and the sauce.
Yes.
Yes, I sent you that video on Insta. Yes, tell me about it, sis. Yes.
So who has juice and who has sauce?
So you know what the juice is? So the juice is this. Like,
Just
the
go
juice
watch
is like
the meme on
apple
Instagram.
juice, orange
Yeah.
juice. Like everybody loves
That's
juice,
it,
but
yes.
you know juice don't last in your
You
fridge
do,
that
yes.
long. But you get the juice, you drink
It's
it's
spoiled,
good, but
done.
then it's gone. You know what I mean?
But the
But the sauce.
Think about it. Whenever you go, you know, ketchup in your house, mayonnaise in your house, barbecue sauce in your house, you shall it last.
Lasts for long.
Every time you need it, it's there.
Just remove the
And
other
every
swear
time you
words.
get it, it's good. So when someone tell you got the sauce,
This is Netflix song. This is Terrace House music. Sorry,
Of course you would know that.
because that's why I learned to observe Japanese
Anyways,
relationships.
let's face it, out here men want the juice and not the sauce.
that's true. And black
I
girls,
beg
the
to
sauce.
differ.
And I'm sorry. Okay, let me change what I said.
Robert is dying.
Sorry, I'm done.
Some men want the juice, and others pretend they want the sauce, but still keep on going for juice.
You
or
know
should I
what?
say for Petri, terrible dirty water?
Ooh.
So let's just put it out there.
Oh shit.
Whoa. Or maybe some green tea.
No, not
Oh,
even green tea,
not
because
even
that's a
green
level
tea. Like
up.
that's
They
like.
go for tepid, sad water.
With
You
no
know
lime.
what? You know what? You know what it is? I'm gonna
No
tell you what
lime
it
in
is.
it.
I'm getting owned on my own.
I'm gonna
shoulder.
tell you what it
Don't worry.
is. I'm gonna tell you
let's
what
be
it is.
honest.
They just got all these thirsty ass people out here, right? 30 thirsty. What did I say?
Thirsty?
You know what? 30 and thirsty.
Yo, nobody with them
To be
was.
honest, the 30s and thirsties. Now let me get started on
The
those
truth
ones.
is, most
But-
of these airheads are actually in their 30s.
30s, yeah.
Not you, Dre.
Oh,
Not
okay.
you.
They're in their 30s,
Dre's actually
living like
good,
if they're still
okay?
in their
let's,
teens.
let's sell Dre
Yeah.
a little bit. Okay?
Sell me, sell
But
me.
most of the 30s that I know,
I hear $20. I hear $20.
You go. Let me shut up. Let's take off finish.
we should actually start something for of us. Since we're so international, that would be actually really cool.
I said once a month, but no one listened to me earlier.
I'm fine.
I'm alright.
I would
I
be
can
down
do
for
it.
that
I
too,
can do
actually.
it. Yeah.
Hey, are you guys up for a once a month kind of
What
talk?
topic
Let's
would
call
you
it
like?
lunch table talks.
Why lunch table talks? Why
What's wrong
that's
with
too
my name?
long?
No, it's cool.
That's like red table talk to Jada. Jada, I love you, babe.
Yeah, Jada's great. Jada's great.
Okay, I don't want to be
Okay.
in a podcast with this one.
Why, Jada?
Because she has stepped on my foot like a million times.
I'm
She
just
has
getting
almost
excited.
picked my eye out.
But
like
Seiko,
5
you know
times.
I love you, babe.
Seiko, you know she loves you. I should be interested for you.
Lord have mercy.
Okay, are we going to end it? Liquid.
Where did the video go? It went all over. We did African history as well, a little bit of
We
it.
did everything.
With
But that's
pitch-
live. That's what's called.
Okay, guys, let's
Not
talk
stage.
about something that is a bit,
Like what?
light.
Like
I
what?
feel like we did like lots
A lot
of
heavy stuff.
Fun topics.
You want something fun? You want some super light?
Super light.
Like what? Like the juice?
Super fun.
The juice.
Juice
the
versus sauce.
What's the juice?
Alright, so let's go through some like celebrities
I don't know any.
that you think have the juice or the sauce. Juice versus sauce.
Juice
Any of
versus
them.
sauce. Like, okay, the saucy ones are the ones that like
I mean,
stay
just watch it,
around for
it's
a
just me
while.
around.
Like,
Like-
Beyonce is such sauce. Beyonce.
No, like Africa say Beyonce.
Beyonce is sauce.
Beyonce.
I feel like nowadays like there's so many people who like come
Nigeria,
up.
the Kenyan to Beyonce. It's a Beyonce. There's a YouTuber that I love. Her name is
That's why they say Starbucks.
This laugh, I want to keep this like I put it by like a voice plate every time.
Yeah, they should make a meme out of it.
Like, so she asks, so do you speak English in Barbados? Yes. You idiots.
Oh, Roberto's choking.
Alright,
That's the wrong thing to say right now.
You're choking. Alright, what's the
wrong
number
thing.
one question that the Japanese person asks you?
Oh, that's a fun question.
Yeah.
Can I go first?
Homecoming desu ka?
Is that your real hair?
Yeah.
She said homecoming.
What? Like a book? Book paper. Oh, she meant book paper or a tree? Homecoming, book paper?
Sorry, not homecoming.
I thought-
Jige, or you can say jige.
Jige.
Yeah.
I thought you said homecoming is like, I thought you say book paper.
Yeah, I said hon, but it's
It's like a book
honto,
paper?
honto.
Like book paper? Book paper? Is that your book paper?
It's
Yeah.
to go like that. I'm just like, shut up, bitch.
I'll put it like a chicken. Alright. Seiko, what's the question they asked you?
For me, the weirdest thing I've had asked by both guys and girls is where I got my tan. They asked me for my tanning salon. The address.
Because that tan is fire.
Jesus, Africa and Japan.
I got my
and I just
tan.
answered my tan is African.
It's
Africa.
本当ですかアフリカ行ってんのからタン違うの
Oh, when you speak Japanese, you're real cute, and your mouth is
Yeah.
real cute.
違う
Look
の
at his mouth. He's
あ
so
の
cute.
Looks like a little
Oh,
fishy.
Don't say that to Jamaica. Little fishy means like little. Anyway, Roberto.
Sorry, is this P13 for the camera?
It means
It's
that
okay.
you're amazing.
Yeah, bulla cake.
Don't say that. No, don't let me introduce people to these words.
Bulla cake.
No.
Alright, what about you? What's the weirdest thing or what's the thing that Japanese people ask you?
Actually, they don't ask. They just do weird things to me.
Or they do weird things. Pre-do tell
Like
me.
the guy
At
who
first,
touched
I was
it.
like, yo, like, either I get touched or I ask where I'm from, and when I say to you, oh, Bono, I was like, what the? It's like,
Italian.
Italian.
yeah.
That's so ridiculous.
Because,
Oh,
yeah,
dear.
and then, you know, like, it's always like kind of fun stuff, like, I don't know, it's just,
So
Macaroni.
for Roberto, they don't say things, they just do things.
Just touch it all over.
Yeah, I mean, I need
Yo,
to get
the-
on that level. I mean,
I
I need to
can't-
drop face.
I can't count how many times Roberto has been choked on his own saliva because of Rhea.
Is that okay? Like to just do things?
Like I'm gonna put the Rhea thirst count in the corner. Number 2.
Sorry, I keep hitting the thing. Sorry.
Number 5.
I mean-
This guy was just looking right in my mouth.
I
What was he
mean,
doing?
I think you're just being a bit too loud. Roberto, stop looking at me like that. Why?
I know, I'm just, I don't know what to say, I'm sorry.
That is all. How about you, Dre?
Can I touch your hair?
Oh yeah, that's
Can I touch your hair?
good
Can I
option.
touch
Can I touch your hair while reaching for it, not waiting on an answer?
Yeah.
Even my kids know. So what?
Japanese
So what?
people.
I'm like, no.
Boundaries. Boundaries. This is my space. That's your space. My space is my space. Just
But it's weird, you know. They have their boundary thing with space, but they don't respect other
of
people's.
people. Yeah.
No, it depends. Japanese respect Japanese people's space.
That's
If it's
true.
like foreigners, like
Except on a
okay.
gaijin bubble on a train. I love that though.
Yes. Preach.
But you know what? We gaijins have to be also blamed for that because we also do a lot of get away with the gaijin cuts. Like, okay, let's go.
You mean the gaijin smash? Oh, let me cross the street right now.
Exactly.
Look at me cross the street in my red shoes. So you know what that means? Okay, let's not talk about red shoes.
Gosh.
Oh shit.
Ooh, they're dimming the light.
Oh, the dimming lights tell us it's time to get out. That's what they do in the club.
Guys.
Guys are being TGF making so
Okay,
much
that
noise.
was it. That was it for the lunch table talk. I really don't like that name, the LTT.
It's a working title. We'll find a working one. We'll find
What
it.
is wrong with you? Have you suggested anything?
I am working on it in my head. What? Look at this. Look at girl.
Okay, another thing we're going to agree on is in this talk we're not going to swear because we want to believe.
Do you
that
have
we
an
want
issue
to-
with swearing?
we're
I
gonna
don't have
believe
swearing
it.
on my channel though.
Huh?
I don't have swearing on my channel.
He doesn't
what?
swear much.
I don't swear. In
Do you
videos,
have
I try
an
not to swear.
issue with people swearing?
I'll find
No.
creative
I
ways to
don't.
get rid of it.
Oh, so you don't want any swearing in your
I can't get rid of
Oh,
it.
it's better, right?
So wait, so meaning that you edit it out.
He
It
would
appeals
edit
to
it
all,
out,
you want your channel to be like anybody can
You
watch
want
it.
kids to watch it.
Anybody.
Sorry, I just said sorry.
It's okay, I can fix that.
You blink.
I'll make it look very. I'm
Like I
maybe
could be
I'm-
like
I'm-
really, I
So we're
could be
gonna
really
try our
good.
best to keep it very, very.
That's a
proper.
that's a curse
But
word.
even
Oh,
if
we can talk
even if it
raunchy,
comes
but the
out,
words
because
are.
we're not judging. We don't want to put out that image that we don't want to curse or anything because we know people do, and that's a societal norm right now apparently. So we're fine with that, but we're gonna make sure we take those out nicely.
Why is my
Yeah.
table always so
Otherwise,
wet?
I
What
know.
the
Why is your table up? You know what? You know what,
I
Roberto?
think you just
You just
Oh,
wanted
sorry.
to. You're just dripping
Roberto,
sauce. He's dripping
Roberto.
sauce.
Ah.
Roberto dripping sauce. Alright, let's give us all the
Why is
attention.
your arm? Why's your hand so warm?
I don't know.
Because
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
up.
I'm okay.
like
You're
all
feeling
soft
him
right
already.
Alright, guys. So we're gonna wrap up for today, and.
Guys, just ignore what's in the
And we really just like to thank you guys. If you like what you see, subscribe to my channel. And then eventually we're going to probably have our own channel with a podcast and everything.
and our
On Instagram.
Our Instagram.
And M_Seiko, she's Ria the Real.
Ria the
He's
Real.
Robert Sunshine.
Oh,
Robbie
Robbie
X
Sunshine.
Sunshine.
Rebel Sunshine.
you would
I'll
know
put
that.
their stuff in the thing, in the description,
Yeah.
and the screen and them something there. So magic, yeah, anything magic.
All over. Pew, pew, pew.
And make sure you hit the bell. 'Cause we have-
Like and subscribe at the bottom of this page.
hit the bell right here.
You know.
Bing, bing, bing.
We're going karaoke after this, guys.
Let's
So
go.
what's cool?
Let us know if you want to watch a video of us karaoke.
No, send suggestions. Like, what would you like us to talk about?
Yeah,
that's true.
good.
That too. And please follow us on Instagram because we don't have many followers.
You have over 1,000. I'm barely at 700.
One time.
Like, okay, you can follow me on Instagram, but like, guys, don't like DM me. Like,
Unless you have sauce, don't DM her.
I mean,
We don't want juicers. We want saucers.
Whoa.
We don't deal with fake
Like
men.
saucer?
we don't want juicers. We want saucers, people.
Alright, we're done. We're gone. We're gone. Bye.